Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Hello
Evening.
and welcome, everybody, to episode 111.
Okay.
Ooh.
Terry, you're having some audio problems, buddy.
And video problems.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Let
frozen
it
in
go.
time.
Let it go.
Let it
well,
go.
I'll go ahead and step in until he
I
gets
don't think Terry. I'm gonna take Terry off while he's frozen like that, and once I see him move again, I'll bring him back in.
Okay. Well, right. I guess if you're gonna have a technical issue, I guess the time to have it's right out of the gate, right? So let's.
Yeah, his camera's still not moving down there either.
Yeah, but all right. Well, welcome everyone. This is episode 111 of Nerds with Mics. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We're back on a Sunday. Hey, we've done this. Yeah. Is this? I mean, granted, we had to move last week's to Monday because of the holiday, but I think this makes 3 weeks in a row we've managed to deliver an episode, right? So
yeah, 3 weeks in a row. Aside from the fourth, we've been pretty consistent. Terry just backed out.
And it's gonna come back. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come back soon. We do have Justin in the stream today saying hello, boys. Hello, Justin. How are you?
And we have Justin.
Wait a minute. We have Terry back. Terry.
There we go. Sorry, my internet just completely crashed as soon as we went live.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Oh no!
I have 3 cats on my desk. I wish you could see this right now. This is utter chaos.
3 cats? When did you get 2 more cats?
I don't know, but there's cats everywhere. And
oh my gosh!
If I could show you, there's cats everywhere. Just cats everywhere.
Cats on
cats.
Thanks, Whit. I am back.
Yes.
So
Terry,
the intro to this.
Yeah, we didn't get into what we've been up to for the past week, but I did go ahead and tell everybody what the episode was, just because I was.
All right.
Listen, I was stalling until you got back.
Yeah, I said, "Welcome to episode 111." Oh no! Good thing I'm actually using a cellular iPad, so I just shut the Wi-Fi down. Like I'm using data right now. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
You're crystal clear now, more
Sweet.
So than you normally
Thanks.
are. So yeah. So I'll give the reins.
Sink.
Here's the reins. Back to you, Terry.
Thank you, sir. So, actually, I'm going to ask what you've been up to, because it looks like you were already at that point. So, Back to you, buddy. What have you been up to since last week?
Back to me. What have I been up to? Well, I watched the new Black Widow movie. I watched that. I think all 3 of us watched that yesterday, I do believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So watched that. Watched the 5th episode of Travis Can't Control All the Pussycats. You know what? They were all fighting over me, so you are right.
Jeez.
You know, what can I say? But anyways, wow, this is getting off to a great start.
I know. I'm loving this episode already. It's so special. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. But other than that, I got a new TV, which, yes, look, Emily, a.k.a. Mystique Siren, is joining in. And she said that she's been watching us on video on demands, and this is her first time catching us live.
Oh, nice.
So this should
be on pay-per-view.
And listen, I talked
$50.
to her. Yeah, I talked to her a few days ago, and what I will say is, when we were talking about news last week, she was shaking her fist in the air because I guess there was some Borderlands news that came out that we completely didn't talk about or miss. So she made sure to scorn me on that. So
movie or game?
I think it was game, but that's a good point. I forgot the movie wrapped up filming, and evidently Kevin Hart got pretty jacked for that movie. So, but anyways, other than that, just honestly, Loki, watched Black Widow, I watched Quiet Place 2. Did do that. I got a new TV. I got a 77-inch LG OLED, and I will tell you that has completely changed the way that I feel about gaming. Both. I don't know what both. Oh,
Emily, referring to the movie Endgame. We missed movie Endgame news. So,
well, you know what? Emily will probably be with us starting next week, so she can fill us in on all that stuff we don't know about.
Sounds good.
And I have a cat eating my microphone or my headphones. Give me those back. Gosh, this is the worst. Anyways, that's all that I've been up to. Justin, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you because I gotta get a handle on all these pussycats.
Yeah, so I watched Black Widow. I've been watching some Euro soccer this weekend. The final was today. Italy beat England, so that was cool. Watched Loki, caught up on that, playing some MLB The Show because that's just what I am. I also got back into Ark recently. My friend Connor and I jumped into Ark, and we've been playing that. Whitney says she's excited for both. I assume she's referring to the Borderlands movie and game. And Justin, man, he's coming in hot with these comments tonight. Travis, I'll let you read that one.
Oh no! Oh
yeah.
no!
Oh no, it's right. I've just been, hanging out. We go to Kings Island tomorrow night. We're gonna leave tomorrow night and spend a couple days at Kings Island in the water park. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, that's me. Terry, what about you?
Oh no! Oh no!
Terry.
Oh no!
You're a little pixelated.
Oh no!
You're not answering my question. Terry, no. Back it up, Terry.
This is what you get to experience when you do it live.
We'll do it live. I'm going to give Terry a minute.
Anything now?
Oh, yeah. There you are. What's up, man?
No.
How's it going?
Right.
Shoot. Oh.
Well, can you hear me? Am I here?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I also watched Black Widow. Watched that late last night. The wife and I have been rewatching Breaking Bad.
Ooh,
Back up, Terry.
nice.
Every July 4th. I get tagged every time like 20 times. Like, I'm very well acquainted with that video. No worries. But yeah, Breaking Bad and Shark Week. I've been getting ready for Shark Week. Watching a lot of stuff. Like Disney Plus has their Matchbox version of Shark Week called Shark Fest.
So
We got to watch Chris Hemsworth like hanging out with some sharks, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Black Widow was pretty much the highlight. Yeah, you guys hear me? I'm just making sure.
Yeah, we can hear you. If we can't hear you, we'll let you know. Or if you can't hear us, I'll just take you out, and then you'll probably know that way. And then once I see you moving again, I'll bring you back. Okay.
Yeah, we'll navigate through it as we have these technical issues. But
you know what? If it's we have these issues going live sometimes, it happens, but it's fun. Like it's funny, I think, to navigate it live. Like watch us, like what do we do? What do we do? And it I don't know. I think it encourages more participation with the people watching tonight, which we have a good crowd tonight. So I'm happy you're all
a good crowd. I'm just getting roasted. I love it.
No, not roasting you. This is just how it's, live. I mean, you're always going to have issues with live. We've had issues on the other show too.
No.
It just happens.
Comes with the territory. I'm used to getting roasted.
Oh, I'm not roasting you.
Right.
I don't know what's happening. But anyways, so we have a slew of topics to talk about this evening. However, we decided that we are going to save our thoughts and comments around Black Widow to the end of the show. That way, if you haven't seen it and you don't want it spoiled, once we start talking about that, you could feel free to drop off after that or before that conversation starts. That way, we don't spoil anything. Typically, we don't care to spoil stuff, but generally speaking, we at least like to give it an ample amount of time that you would have had to be able to see it. But seeing how Black Widow just came out, we don't want to spoil it for anybody. However, we are going to talk about the 5th episode of Loki, which you've had almost a week to watch. So we're going to freely talk about that. And if you don't want to hear about it, you might want to consider muting us or just skipping ahead like 3 or 4 minutes. But anyways, now before we get started, we have all seen the 5th episode of Loki, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm assuming that Terry's okay. Terry, I'm going to let you start. Since we seem to be having the most technical difficulty with you, I'm going to try to let you get yours in while it seems to be working. So what's your?
Said.
Oh no. So what's your thoughts? And also, feel free, anybody that's also seen the 5th episode of Loki, feel free to chime in comments, anything about the show, any questions you have. But Terry, I'm going to turn over to you to give me your thoughts on Thor,
Sure.
Tiny Thor. I like that. Good.
Well, Emily was talking about Tiny Thor. That's what was it? Throg, which is Frog Thor. It was in a little jar. It was like a little Easter egg. There were Easter egg galore like throughout this entire episode. It's my favorite episode of the series so far. We still have a lot of questions, but I feel like we got some questions answered. Like the writers did something, since we're going straight spoiler territory here. The writers did something where I'm like, when you're watching a movie or show, you're like, why don't they just do this? She did it. I'm talking about Lady Loki, Sylvie, when she prunes herself. Like the whole time I'm thinking, why doesn't she just prune herself? Like that would take her straight there. Oh, she did it. So that was cool. However, I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see Owen Wilson hanging out with Lightning McQueen. That's really what I wanted to see, but it's whatever.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. That's right. But no, favorite episode of the series so far. I love classic Thor. Alligator Thor is taking the internet by storm. Like, I was all about it. Like, every single character is like, why is there an alligator here? He's a Loki. President Loki was kind of maybe a little bit disappointing, but there's so much happening. Like, I definitely wasn't disappointed.
He definitely got a nub. He got that nub, though.
Oh, yeah.
He did. That was hilarious. Like, he just got it taken off by a gator.
Yeah.
But, no, like, I was super entertained. Best episode of the series so far. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. What about you guys?
Yeah, Emily said the scream was her favorite after he got his hand taken off. I have to agree. It was one of those things I didn't expect it to happen. It's like I saw that they were leading into it. I was like, no way, they're just going to let him bite off his hand. That's not going to happen. Then it happens, and then you hear the scream after. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. Yeah. Go ahead, Justin. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Terry. This was, I think, my favorite episode of the season. I thought the week before that was my favorite at the time, and now this one has surpassed that. I think the show just gets better and better and better. I just really like this show, and I kind of feel like this might. So I haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet, but I know what happens. I kind of feel like this show will have the highest stakes for the Marvel Universe. I thought that way about WandaVision too, and then it didn't really. At least as of now. I mean, I guess you could call it pending because we don't really know what's going to happen, the aftermath. But I love this show. This new episode, like Terry says, my favorite. I did read a fan theory that, and this kind of ties back to WandaVision, that her kids that she kind of conjured up in Westview were actually seized by the TVA. That's why you could hear them during that finale, which I don't know. That would be kind of cool. Justin wants to know, do you think they'll introduce Kang, or is he too big and should be safe for a movie? I mean, I'd be down for that. What do you guys think?
I think Kang is going to be who the villain is in the Ant-Man and Wasp movie. I do believe. Yeah, and there's a theory that I read, just I don't know if you're done talking, but just ties into that point specifically, is I've also read a fan theory that that this all takes place within the quantum realm, everything we're seeing happening now. Okay. Because there was a part where they were showing the quantum realm at one point, and in the very distance, you see like a faded out city, and it's very similar to the city that you see when it opens up. So some people think that it might be in the quantum realm, so it's a possibility, but I'm not obviously 100% sure. Justin, what other thoughts did you have before I give mine?
That's really the biggest thought that I had. I'm going to put a picture up here that I saw on the interwebs. Let me navigate this silly system here. Share screen, share. Oh God, where'd it go?
Just make sure all your Pornhub tabs are closed before you do that.
I'm gonna leave them up.
I hope it's the Thanos copter. Yes. That's what I want to see.
It was referring to Mobius's past life, which I don't actually think that is the case. But like their hair is very similar. I just don't think that's true.
Maybe
but
he's
I thought
a variant of Howard Stark.
Possibly, that'd be pretty cool.
What if he's a variant of Thor?
That'd be kind of neat too. Wow. I don't really know. I hope that Mobius has some sort of significance beyond just this show. That would be really nice. Let's see here.
I think classic Loki telling Loki. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was getting ready to talk about. What do you all think about? Like, I had a thought today. So obviously in the episode, he's talking to like the oldest Loki there, and he talks about how he faked his death when he with Thanos, and now he went and hid in the planet. Like, what if that was future Loki coming back to tell that Loki that, which in turn makes him prevent his own death? You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought about that, but I know it's technically a variant, so I don't know if that would be what would happen. But I definitely felt like the end of this episode, I felt like I was watching the end of a Harry Potter movie. I just got that vibe, right? But I really, really liked the episode. I think that the finale is going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait for it to get here. I'll tell you that. But this show just continues to impress me. I mean, once again, they've taken a character in the Marvel universe that I didn't really care about, and now I'm super invested in this character, and I care about this character. And what do you all think about old Loki like conjuring a whole Asgard? What? Like that was awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, just that whole like final 10 minutes of that episode were just epic. I mean, it was like a big epic action movie, and the music, holy smokes, the music in that show is so good. I can't wait to listen to the soundtrack some once it's all over.
Yeah, one thing I also found pretty interesting as well is that he has the conversation with the old Loki about talking about like where he faked his death. That he, like sometimes if you see just a piece of debris floating by, that could be, basically a Loki or whatever. And when the city opens up, there's like this one random piece of debris flying by the city. I don't know if y'all caught that or not.
I didn't.
But one of the theories is what if it turns out to be like the OG original Loki that's done this the whole time, like the ultimate trickster. You know what I mean?
That would be good.
Like illusion upon illusion. It's like Inception, right? But I would like to see if they end up obviously taking down the TVA and he can save Mobius somehow. Like I would like him to head up Sword, because obviously the director of Sword is hot garbage, because we've seen what happened in WandaVision. But it'd be cool to see him, have a place in the MCU and without, outside of this show, I guess.
Mobius and Jimmy Woo just hanging out.
I just want Mobius to get his jet ski.
Yeah, me too.
They gotta answer that though, right? Like they have to talk about why he's clearly from the 90s, because he drinks I think it's Jolsta, which is a drink from the 90s, and he loves jet skis, which was all the rage in the 90s. I don't know who it is, but he's got to be from the 90s. That's all I know.
Okay.
So just a thought. But anyways, how about we pivot to this? So does anybody else have any thoughts on the show or what they want to see happen, or any more fan theories before we move on?
Hashtag jet ski for Mobius.
That's right.
Mystique Siren.
That's right.
Did you all see the fan artwork somebody did of him riding on the back of a jet ski with Loki alligator, and say two people that's fans of jet skis?
Yeah, that's my Twitter header now.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's so good. But if you guys don't have any other thoughts, how about we use this to pivot to more Marvel news? Is that okay with you guys?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So Marvel, supposedly there's news that Marvel is done with big multi-movie deals. Justin, do you want to? I know you don't have really a lot to add to this, but did you want to tell us kind of?
Yeah. So basically, when they started doing these Avengers movies like 12, 13 years ago, they signed all these actors to multiple movie deals, because they wanted to make sure they had their Iron Man locked down, their Black Widow locked down, and so on and so forth. And now Kevin Feige has said that Marvel will no longer be doing that. It'll be maybe more on a movie by movie, maybe 2 movies at a time, something like that. I think it's probably to prevent things like what happened with Black Widow. While Black Widow, and we'll talk about this later, was amazing, Scarlett Johansson was under a deal for so many movies, and then she dies with one left on her contract. So, they went back and made a backstory movie. Not even really it was a backstory movie, but it wasn't like a prequel to the Avengers timeline. So part of it was, but so I mean, I wonder if it's to prevent things like that, because maybe they might have an idea of like where the future's going, or maybe they don't want to even tip their kind of like show, maybe like, well, we've only got this guy down for 2 movies, but we've got this one for 6, and fans can kind of speculate on who's going to last longer. But what was that quote that you shared earlier, Travis?
So the quote was directly from Feige. It says it varies from project to project, cast to cast. He goes on to explain, it says, reflecting on the sweeping talent deals previously inked by Chris Evans and Samuel Jackson, because Samuel Jackson actually signed a contract for 9 Marvel movies. That's how many movies that he was signed in for. He says, really what we want are people to come in, are excited to be in the universe, are excited at the opportunity to do more things, as opposed to being locked in to a contract obligation. So I can kind of see their point is like they don't want to feel like it's this weight above their head that, oh, I only got 2 more movies to go, or I'm locked in for this many years. But to your point, and Terry, I'll ask you your thoughts here in just a second, is I can also see why they would want to do that, because if they're, I mean, obviously there were so many movies to, this first chapter or saga, so to speak, that they needed those people to stay around so they could get all the way to the end. Could you imagine if, Robert Downey Jr. decided he wanted to leave like before Infinity War finished out or something like that? So I can understand why they would want to do that. But then again, I can also see, from an actor standpoint, simply staying around because you're excited to be on a project and being so compelled by what you're in that you're just there for the right reasons and not because you feel like you're just tied to a contract. So what's your thoughts, Terry?
A lot of the same. One thing I think they're trying to do is attract more talent.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but Joaquin Phoenix was the first choice for Doctor Strange. That's who they really wanted, but he didn't want to sign a contract like that, like how all the other actors do.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to recast Hulk, because who played him in Incredible Hulk? Who was that?
Edward Norton.
Yeah, Edward Norton. He didn't want to be tied down to movies. So like they've lost talent over the years and like their first choices for these roles because of this. So, I mean, we might see some good, but at the same time, like you said, what's stopping these actors, at the heat of the moment, dropping the movie and they have to recast it. I mean, don't want to be cheesy, but that's going to kind of, suck the magic out of it.
Yeah. So actually, speaking of magic and contracts, it reminded me of when they were making the Harry Potter movies. After Order of the Phoenix came out, the 3 main stars were not locked in to contracts, and they actually almost all walked. It wasn't a money thing; they didn't want to do it anymore. But eventually, money talked. But I mean, you have 5 movies in at that point, and the potential to recast your 3 leading actors. So I see why they do it. I think it's a good idea, honestly, to do it. Because if they came in and brought somebody else in as Iron Man, I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
Yeah. You get
just
Tom Cruise.
Variants.
Yeah.
You say variants?
Yeah, make them variants. like Rhodey and Iron Man 1. Like I've already seen memes that Terrence Howard was a variant.
That's good.
Justin said that he had thought that they dropped Edward Norton because he was hard to work with. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I could have sworn that I read that it was contract stuff, but no, I could be completely wrong. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, the homie Flip is here. He wants to know if we are liking the Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars shows being 6 to 10 episodes, as opposed to shows running like 12 to 16. I actually do kind of like it.
Yeah.
I think one reason I like it too is because it feels like when one ends, they have one loaded up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's what she said. But anyways, I actually so here are my 2 thoughts. If they are going to release it, like if it was more of a Netflix situation where they say, okay, boom, here's a season, binge watch it all. If that's the case, I want like 12 to 16. But if it's weekly releases, like I'm fine with 6 to 10 because I have to wait that time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
Cortland says,
right. That's it.
Yeah. Cortland says Marvel tried to get Edward Norton to talk about Fight Club and you don't talk about Fight Club. That's right.
Wow.
I can't even put that comment
add value.
Mystique Siren says, I feel like they are pretty packed with action and not a lot of downtime in episodes 2. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Loki is moving it it feels like an action movie. I can't wait to watch it all.
Right.
When
so they're more like movies instead of shows, right?
Yeah,
so
that's what
they're
I
all
like
one-run series. So they're just longer movies, which I'm all about.
Do you all get like a buddy cop feel to Loki? Because I do.
Oh, for sure.
A little bit, yeah. Hints of one.
Yeah. I just like it. I'm just curious to see where it ends. I'm also curious to see if the Loki as we know it, if he's still going to be involved in the MCU and somehow. You know what I mean?
Gosh, I hope so.
I guess we'll find out this week.
We will, because they're only doing they've officially said they're not doing anything like this is a one season deal.
Yeah,
right?
it's a one series.
They said that for Loki.
Yeah,
I mean, I could be wrong again.
Oh, I knew they said it for WandaVision, but I didn't know they said it for Loki. I thought Loki.
I think all these shows have been like one shot deals, but I don't know.
I did too, but I could be wrong. Maybe they are. Maybe the popularity and maybe the story will take it somewhere else.
Yeah. Speaking of, does anybody else have anything about Marvel? I'm just moving us along.
I don't think
here.
so. No,
move us along, Travis. Just move us along.
So one thing that I wanted to talk about, has either of you, because I'm going to have a feeling that Justin's going to say no, but I have a feeling that Terry's going to say yes. Witcher on Netflix. Have you guys watched it?
I watched the first episode at the same time I was watching something else, and I was like, I'll go back to it. I still haven't.
I've watched a couple episodes.
Yeah, that is something I want to watch.
I was wrong on both fronts. Well, anyways, I've seen it and it's good. Now, to be fair, it took me the first 2 or 3 episodes to really get sucked in. Well, I'm glad somebody here has watched it. Thank you, Emily. But anyways, it has a very much like Game of Thrones feel to it, like look and feel, but the story is really good. But it is a slow start. If you guys get a chance, I would definitely recommend checking it out. The biggest reason I say that is they did just have WitcherCon, and they announced during WitcherCon and also released a new trailer, which neither of you should watch if you obviously haven't seen it, season 1 yet. But it comes out December 17th. The new season does. So you guys have plenty of time to check it out. It very much follows the video games, but not in a way where it's like cheesy. It's very dark. It's very like I don't know. It's just a really cool show.
It's more like the books to The Witcher, right? Like,
yeah, and what I love about it is Henry Cavill is like a huge fan, and basically kind of like Ryan Reynolds did for Deadpool. Like basically demanded to play the role. He basically did the same thing for.
So it's like a passion project for him, which makes it even better.
Yeah, because he's like a huge gamer and everything, and he even live streamed himself building a PC because he plays a lot of World of Warcraft and stuff. So the fact that he campaigned for him to watch it. Timeline was very confusing. It jumps ahead and backwards without really even telling you, but by the time you get to the end, you pretty much know everything that's going on.
Sounds like Westworld.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, but yeah, that's all the news that I had for Witcher. What do you guys want to move to now?
I guess that would be the Sony conference, and I'm assuming that'd be you leading that, Justin.
Yeah,
just because I think you're the only person that's watched it.
Yeah, so last week we kind of had high hopes. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Emily says that Henry Cavill can build her PC anytime. Okay.
I wonder what she means by that. Like, we'll talk. We'll talk.
I think she means build a computer.
I think so too.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like. I mean,
because I've seen her setup, and she's got a pretty nice computer. So I don't know why he would need to build her a PC, but it's fine.
I mean, you can always upgrade parts.
Yeah, that's true.
And now she's okay. You've done it now, Travis. Good job.
Oh no, she's never coming back.
So it was kind of funny. Last week we did the show. We anticipated a Sony State of Play coming soon. We had all these big hopes and dreams of what we thought we'd see and what we wanted to see. And then Tuesday came, and Sony was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this on Thursday, but it's gonna suck." Just so you know ahead of time. So it was basically just
and this is their event. This is their event following E3, which
they're going to have more. They're going to have more, but basically they showed off Deathloop, which
that was really like excited. What they anchored right with pretty much.
Yeah, I was really excited for Deathloop originally. My interest is fading a little bit. They did give Death Stranding. Hang on a minute. Okay. Justin says he's straight and Henry Cavill can build his PC too. That's cool. Yeah.
He must be really good at building PCs.
I mean, did you watch the video? He kind of is.
I'm pretty sure he put it all together and it didn't work and he had to redo it all. So I don't know about
that part. I mean,
yeah, but it's okay. these little emoji things are killing me.
I know. I'm loving it. Anyway, they did give Death Stranding, the director's cut, a release date, which will be September 24th. I don't know if you all played Death Stranding. Did you play that?
I played it, but it was
2 hours of it.
It's so weird.
It is
like
super
walking simulator.
It actually has a lot of new features coming to it. And
like,
it'll
can
be
you change the speed of your walk? Or...
Anyway, it'll be a $10 upgrade for that. Then a couple of other indie games. Moss Book 2, which I don't think is an indie game. It's a VR game. Hunter's Arena, Fist, Forge, and Shadow Torch. I don't know what that is.
It looks pretty
Saifu.
cool.
Yeah. So just a few like minor games. Emily says his AIO was upside down, so he had to fix it. Okay. So she actually did watch the video, it seems like, from beginning to end. But anyway, so that was the Sony conference. I was let down by it, which I knew I was going to be let down Tuesday when I saw the announcement. I was like, oh, okay, this
when
they're not going to show anything good, really.
So when I was looking up, Deathloop, kind of like you, I was kind of excited about that. Then I watched kind of some of the new stuff they talked about. I was unaware that Arcane Studios is the parent company is Bethesda, which I did not know. But this game is even though that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft now, I guess Deathloop is still an exclusive, which I didn't
2022, I believe.
It's because the game was in production before the purchase.
Yeah, so that means we're not going to get Indiana Jones, right, Terry, on PlayStation? It's going to be on Xbox.
Oh, it's super early in production.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell on that. Lucasfilm could even come in and say, yeah, you're going to make it cross-platform.
Yeah, I think there's really only one more thing that could be more disappointing than the Sony event, and I think that's the announcement of this new Switch.
What are you talking about, dude? Nintendo Switch Pro.
Is that what we're moving to right now? We're moving to the
OLED.
Switch?
Yeah, because the Sony event is not even worth talking about, bro.
No, it's not.
I have a lot to cover on this, so I can go last if you want, or I can lead it. It doesn't matter to me. So what's your
Take it away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so let me tell you what the Switch is not and who it's not for. It's not for people with a 4K TV because guess what? It still only outputs in 1080p when it's in the dock. The screen is bigger, but let me ask you something. At what cost? Let me ask you, because the screen is bigger, but the resolution is actually still capped at 720, which means they moved to a 7-inch display. Oh, look at that timing. Boom, right there. And that means you're going to have less pixel densities per square inch, which means that your image, while yes, it's an OLED, it might actually be less crisp as a result. So while the colors and everything may seem more vibrant, it may also look like garbage.
So people are picking this guy apart. He just walks in and sits in the hallway, like right here, like to play his game. Like he doesn't go to the couch. He's like, let me sit on this bench. And people are like, this is definitely them trying to say you can play this on the toilet without saying you can play this on the toilet. Real quick, Homie Flip says Xbox is better than Sony, which I gotta disagree at the moment. And then Emily says Garbo. I don't know if she's talking about the Switch.
Yeah, I think she's talking about the Switch. But so just a couple more points. So other than the image quality, it's not for people who wanted Switch to run games better. It's not for those people. It's also not for the people that hope that they fix the problem that you have with the Joy-Con drift. It's not for you either. And guess what? It's also not for the people that wanted it to have Bluetooth audio, because guess what? That's not in it either. So that's pretty much
it has
all.
Enhanced audio on its little speakers.
Yeah. But that's all I had. So what's your all's thoughts on it?
Terry, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I mean, I was like, oh, they announced a new Switch. Like I saw it in the group chat while I was working, and then I clicked on it and I was like, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Son of a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? I was so mad.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's $50 more. I mean, I guess if you don't already own a Switch and you have the, you know, you're like, oh, $50 more for a little bit of a better screen, bigger screen. But people don't buy Switch games for the, you know, the way they look. It's all about the experience.
Yeah.
But still, I'm super disappointed.
I think if I didn't own a Switch and I was primarily interested in playing in handheld almost exclusively, I would be more apt to want. Yeah, that's pretty. I was going to say I'd be more apt to have a Switch Lite.
Right.
You know, because it's obviously cheaper, right? Justin, what do you think?
Well, I do think that according to Eurogamer, Nintendo did provide developers with new dev kits that had 8 gigabytes of memory instead of 6, which I guess 6 is what's in the Switch already, which implies that there still could be a Switch Pro coming down the road. However, according to this, they usually get this hardware about a year or two before the release of new hardware. So we're looking at like 2022, 2023. Yeah, I was disappointed because I was one that after playing games on like my PS5, my Xbox, it is charming as some of the games are on my Switch. They're really ugly to look at. And I really wanted a new Switch Pro, something with a little more power. I think they're going to need it when it comes to that open world Pokemon game and Breath of the Wild 2. So maybe that's something they're hanging on to until those games are closer to release because they're both next year. But I just wanted something a little beefier, something just to look better, maybe feel better ergonomically in my handheld mode. And we didn't get that. We got really just a slight upgrade. I mean, they might as well have called this the Nintendo Switch S, like Apple would do. But they just, I don't know. It just feels very lackluster, and I'm not, after all the rumors we've had this year, I'm let down.
This is my question. Let me ask you guys something. So obviously I know that the Switch powers everything, right? But there was always rumors with like when the Switch came out that you could have other docks available that maybe has integrated GPUs built into them that could possibly enhance. So do we think it's out of the question that we might see a different dock come later on down the road that will work with this Switch that will allow it to, you know, output to a TV, maybe say in 4K or something like that? Because
I doubt it.
Because I'll tell you. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're good.
No, I was just going to say Nintendo, like when the Switch came out, like they said they have zero interest going 4K. So I don't think that'll be something they want to do.
Because I'll tell you, when I docked my Switch into my brand new 77-inch OLED, expecting all this glory, I felt like I was back on Nintendo 64. I mean, if it's on a smaller TV, it's fine. But when you have such a big screen, you know what I mean?
I tried to play Mario Golf last night on our 4K TV, and it's not even like a huge TV. It's like maybe 50 inches or something. I don't know. And it looked bad. It looked very bad that I was like, I just don't even want to play this. Yeah.
And maybe that's bad on us for like caring about fidelity and also gameplay, I guess. Maybe if I didn't own an Xbox and I didn't own a PlayStation or I didn't own a PC and the Switch is all I knew, then I may not care. But, I don't know. Like Mario Party, I don't care because it's more like a board game to me. But anything else that's not Mario Party, like I want decent graphics. You know what I mean?
So the Bloomberg reporter who said that the Switch Pro is coming, and they've said that for months, they said that this new Switch looks more like an interim model than a real upgrade to me. This might just be a dummy upgrade until Breath of the Wild 2 is ready and the component shortage is over next year.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So I don't know. I mean, I will get excited about it when I see the trailer of the guy sitting on the bench playing it next time. I mean, I don't care.
The guy in the hallway that his family has disowned him. Like, go in the hallway and play. We don't want to see that hot garbage.
I know. Let's find him again here. Where'd he go?
He's somewhere.
I bet you
so he's pumped,
right there when he smiled. That's supposed to be like right when the poop comes out. He's like, yes, I did it. I mean, that really is what I think this is for. I think they're trying to say, hey, you can sit and play this on something that's not your couch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's beyond me.
Beyond Travis.
Well, what else do we have? Because I can't believe we already went through everything.
I think
it's spoiler time.
It is spoiler time.
It is spoiler time. Or do we want to do picks of the week and then? No, we always do that to end. I didn't know if we wanted to literally just end with Black Widow so people could drop off because people were going to want to know what our picks of the weeks are. But I guess
watch Black Widow and come back and find out.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What was their pick of the week 3 weeks ago? Now that I've watched Black Widow, I can go back and find out.
Better be good, guys.
Yeah. Oh, it's my friend Ben. It says
Ben says, I believe the Switch is one console that is hard to be on a consistent basis unless you have the game nights with people over. I have one, and I think I'm on it with the wife every 3 to 4 months.
That is very true because I own all the Jackbox games on the Switch because it's the easiest for me to take to people's houses that don't own Jackbox. And honestly, that I feel like that's all I ever get on my Switch for anymore is in those moments where I need those Jackbox games or party games like Ben said. I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, I couldn't tell you I think the last time I was on my Switch is when I was playing Wii Ring Fit or whatever the heck it's called. I was actually trying that out. Andy Man 1100 says, evening, everyone gonna lurk while I work. A siren sent me. I don't know what that means, but
probably means Emily told him to get on. If I had to guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Andy, for Andy Man 1100. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, Creeper's gonna creep, so stay on creeping.
He said lurk. All right.
Oh, lurk. Sorry,
Travis. There's a difference.
Is lurk like a classier way to creep? Is that?
I don't know. Maybe he could chime in and let us know.
Okay.
I had a thought and I lost. Oh, I think it was still related to the Switch. I'm excited to play Skyward Sword HD, but like I don't really even play like Animal Crossing anymore. I want to. I just don't have that motivation to like. It sounds awful. Like I don't have the motivation to grab a Switch and play, but like I just don't. I would rather, if I have time to play something, I'd rather just hop on my Xbox or PlayStation and play something there on my computer. I just don't have that desire right now.
You know what would be nice? What would be nice is if they continued to make Nintendo games, obviously for the Switch, but if they could release them on PC where you could play them in higher fidelity, like on a PC or something else. Now, obviously, would see it not be likely to do Xbox or PlayStation. I'm just talking craziness at this point. But I may or may not have seen a Breath of the Wild mod for the PC that was in 4K in ultra wide. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I've played it. It's sweet. I've played it legally, of course.
Yeah, of course. But
I saw somebody play it. That's what I meant to say. I saw somebody play it.
Yeah. That, or also like when you see these people that remake games with the Unreal engines, like with the people that did like Zelda Ocarina of Time with the Unreal 4 engine, which I know obviously isn't a real thing, but it looks amazing. It just makes you want that. You know what I mean?
Well, the hardcore Nintendo fans, though, they don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
Is what I will say. And the Switch is one of the best-selling consoles ever made.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any.
They don't need to cater to us and what we want. I mean, they have.
No, exactly. You're just saying what you want. I get that. I completely understand. I mean, it's hard for me to go to something like, Fortnite in 4K, than going to Animal Crossing. Or the same game, like Fortnite on Switch.
Oh yeah, your draw distance just drastically was reduced, and
you go play Rocket League one time, and it was borderline unplayable on the Switch. Like the frame rate.
Yeah, but you have a Mario skin on your car.
Yeah,
I did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can have a Mario.
Speaking of which, I'm going to load something up because I want to show you all real quick. So I recently bought. This isn't going to be my pick of the week, but it is just something I want to show you. And the reason I say this is because. We turn down the volume so it doesn't blast anybody. So I just got a new iPad Pro, the new M1 iPad Pro, right? I ordered it and it took like a month to come in. However, they now have officially ported Divinity 2 Original Sin to this. And let me tell you, it works with the Magic keyboard with mouse support, and it's crossplay with PC. And it looks, obviously it's not going to look like the PC version, but it's pretty darn close. And playing this, so I own Divinity on PC, I have it on Switch, and now I have it on this. And playing it on the Switch was a joke. But playing it on my iPad in almost uncompromised graphics or anything, the reason I bought it was not that because obviously I already own it on other things, but I was curious of how it performed on the iPad. So I'm like, surely it's not going to be that good. However, it's only available to be played on a few iPads that can actually support it. And
you can play split screen on one device?
Yeah, dude, it's incredible. It makes me excited for mobile gaming because the power of the M1 chip, and this isn't any kind of plug or anything like this, it just amazes me the quality of this game on here because I don't know, just the fact that I can now play this here's the character select screen. I don't know how well this is going to come across, but that's the character select screen, dude. It's basically everything that the PC version has. It's awesome. But the reason I say that is because when I bought this on the Switch, I was reminded of how. Now keep in mind, this game is very ambitious, so I didn't expect it to be Xbox or PlayStation quality on the Switch, but when I saw that and then I had it on my iPad, I'm thinking my tablet runs game. But of course, to be fair, I could have bought 5 Switches for the price I paid for this iPad, but still, it's really, really cool. So, oh yeah. Sorry.
Emily says that is Travis's pick of the week, and I think it might be as well.
Hey, he said we were getting into spoilers.
You did. It does only work. Oh my gosh, it only works on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different iPad models, and it leaves at least 18 gigabytes of free space to install the full game. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's insane. Legit though. It's the best $25 I spent in a while. It's really cool. Dang. But anyways,
I am tempted.
I was just surprised that it worked with the Magic keyboard and trackpad because I thought it was going to be solely touch, but it gives you an actual mouse and everything. It's dope.
How many Flip loves his new iPad Pro? Yeah, they're sweet.
Virtual fist bump. Boom. There you go. Not to you. You don't have one, Justin.
I was just virtual fist bumping anybody who might be doing it.
I have last year's model.
Okay, here. Fist bump to you, Terry. Which one do you got, Justin?
Man.
2018 iPad Pro.
Yeah, no fist bump for you. That's too old.
Actually, it still works according to this.
Anyways.
Firebolt brings and you're on that Nimbus.
All right, so are we ready? Do we want to go ahead and get into picks of the week, or do we want to do Black Widow first?
No, do it at the end, dude. Let's
do what at the end?
Terry's like, we can't be shaking up the whole show now.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. You got your fist bump.
Yes. Anyways, so what are we doing at the end, Terry? I'm going to let it be your call.
You really want to do pick of the week now? Let's do it.
Well, I just want them to be able to hear what our picks are. Pick of the week.
All I had to do is take a deep breath, and I made the decision for you guys.
That's right. Who wants to go first?
Justin, you're up.
Okay, so I started listening to this new podcast. I think I talked to Terry about it a little bit.
Is it Nerds with Mics? Those guys.
Yeah, of
Those
course.
guys are great. Those guys are great.
No, it's a show called Smartless. And I never heard of it until they were actually bought out by Amazon. So I don't know how good it's going to be going forward. But it's Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And they just each week, one of them will bring like a friend on, typically a celebrity, that the other two don't know, or maybe they don't know that well. And it's just been so funny and just so delightful. I really enjoy it. It's a really good show. I recommend it. If there's a guest that maybe you are a fan of, like there's one with Judd Apatow, and it was great. Mitch Hurwitz was on there, the creator of Arrested Development, which Will Arnett and Jason Bateman were both on. That one, honestly, had me in stitches. It was so funny. I was dying of laughter during that one. So highly recommend it. Great show. Real fun.
Listen to the Bryan Cranston episode.
Oh,
I really like that podcast too.
I'm going back now. I'm on the Tina Fey one right now. I've listened to like 6.
Yeah, I've listened to that
week.
one. Yeah, that's a really good episode.
Okay,
really
I'll
good
check it out.
podcast. Travis, you want to go? You want me to go?
You can go.
All right. My pick of the week is actually a podcast as well. It's a movie podcast that I really like. I've been listening to a lot lately. Raiders of the Lost podcast. When you listen to their show, they'll straight up tell you that they're the fastest growing movie podcast in the country, and I think for good reason. They're really, really good. It's twin brothers, like they do like several episodes a week. So I'm pretty sure they're doing this full time, but they just talk. Like right now, they're doing every Harry Potter movie,
That's cool.
in order. I think they're active on Twitter. They put out like, who wants to see us do a Breaking Bad episode? So it looks like they're about to cover that. You should give them a listen though. They're really good.
Okay.
Raiders of the what now?
Raiders of the Lost podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I know you've been listening to them for a while, haven't you?
I have, yeah, they're great.
Well, now I feel like I have to pick a podcast, but I'd be lying if I said one, so I'm not going to do that.
It's a podcast called Divinity 2. Just kidding, guys. It's the iPad game. Emily, you're right.
No, I mean I could honestly pick that as my pick of the week because I was so impressed by it, but I don't think that's going to be my pick of the week. I think my pick of the week is going to be my TV, guys. I know that seems really stupid, but when I bought my TV, it was the first time that I've ever gotten to game on an OLED, and it honestly, I didn't expect the difference to be so drastic, but it is. It is. Also, the last episode of Loki on my TV looked amazing. So, and also watched Quiet Place 2, and that also just everything looks amazing. And just it's just overall a really cool experience, and that's my pick of the week is my OLED TV. So, does anybody have want to chime in and chat and do they have any picks of the week they want to share? Because I would love to hear anybody's that's listening, unless there's nobody. Justin's like nobody's here.
No, we have quite a few people on tonight. We have got a big crowd tonight. So yeah, if you have a pick of the week, please let us know.
Yeah, just comment
in the chat. I'm drawing my words out, so you have time to type your responses. Flip, yeah. I know you have a pick of the week. What is it?
Well, I'll use this as an opportunity. I know I said it at the top of the podcast, but Emily, aka is that Claptrap? Is that her pick of the week? Okay, should have known.
Jack Black.
Should have known.
Pick of the week. He just sang it. Basically, is what he did. He sang it. He was there. But Emily, aka Mystique Siren, if you guys, for those of you that are listening that don't obviously know who that is, she is one of our good friends. She's been on our show before. There's a shameless plug.
Yeah.
I love it. Emily streams herself playing video games, and just it's always a good time. Oh my gosh. That is, if I had one over here, I would hold it up on camera so you could take a good look at it.
We'd get taken off of Twitch if you did that.
Yeah. But anyways, thank God I don't have any hairless ones. Anyways, but she is going to be joining us. I don't know. After this episode, she may not, but she's going to be starting to join us next week. She's done some really cool things. She is a guest, a reoccurring guest on a Borderlands podcast that is actually sponsored by Gearbox, which is pretty cool, and just plays all kinds of different games. I don't know what that is. You'll have to explain that to me.
It's that like the rim shot.
Oh, okay. Did you say rim shot or rim? What? Okay, never mind. Anyways,
Where you going with that, Travis? I'm curious.
no, I don't know.
If
But
it's
anyways,
Cortland, you don't know which one.
if you're a sports fan and you like the Reds, which I know nobody watching does, except maybe 2 people, there is a podcast called Better Off Reds. That's Justin's other podcast. And then Terry, is that a QR? Don't even put a QR code up for your podcast. Get that out of here.
I'm doing it. Hang on.
Anyways, and Terry is toying with the idea of possibly doing a movie podcast. So that may be exciting as well. So, but I think we've given an ample amount of time for people to submit picks of the weeks that they may have. These shenanigans have to end. But anyways, are you guys ready to talk about? So anybody from this point forward, we're talking with Black Widow, and after we're done, we're going to end the show. So if you don't, hey, there you go, movie podcast for sure.
Got your first subscriber, Terry.
There you go. He already subscribed to something that doesn't exist yet. He's already there.
Yep.
But anyways, we are going to start talking about Black Widow. So if you do not want that ruined for you, or you do not want spoilers, feel free to go ahead and jump off now. And then if you want to come back to this and listen to our thoughts after you watch it, feel free. For those of you that aren't sticking around, thanks for joining us for this episode. And for those of you that either don't care, there you go, Terry. Look,
man,
we should have done a poll. Anyways, yeah. So let's get into Black Widow. So, Terry, you were talking about some news earlier around the release and launch of Black Widow. So I'm going to let you go ahead and to start it off, and then I'll chime in and add any details that I took down in notes. So I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Sure. So, so far, the movie has picked up, $215+ million, which has been the biggest opening of any movie since COVID. We're looking at $80 million in domestic box office, $78 million in the international box office, and over $60 million in Disney Plus's Premier Access program they have going on. So it's racking up a shiny penny.
and it's already past F9, which is a pretty big deal because those movies usually always have pretty big openings.
Right. Reason being, don't mind me just saying really quick.
Yeah,
I think this movie feels more like a Fast and Furious movie than a Marvel movie.
That was a good tie-in. I didn't even know it was going to happen.
Yeah. You guys don't watch. Have you seen the latter Fast and Furious movies?
I've seen Fast 8, but I've not seen Fast 9. No.
Justin, you?
I have not seen a single Fast and Furious movie.
So I know you roast those movies, and I was hoping you liked this movie because I wanted to roast you for roasting those movies, because this movie is so much like Hobbs and Shaw and like the later Fast and Furious movies. Like, it's so over the top. It knows what it is. It's just like
this is
that
a
scene right there.
Movie, though.
It is a superhero movie, but it's about a spy. Like like she's not fighting a Titan on some planet.
And she has literally no superpowers.
Exactly. You're talking about a superhero movie, no superpowers. I mean, Batman doesn't even do the stuff that she's doing in this movie.
That's true.
And he's Batman.
He's Batman.
So that's my point. Like, the whole theme of Black Widow's family, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's getting like with her family. And we don't even really want to talk about the memes, I'm sure, that are all over the interwebs right now.
Oh, yeah. It's
every time I open any social media
with them now, but they're so funny.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll just go straight into it. I did like Black Widow. I had some problems with it, which, we can talk about those in a few minutes, but
go ahead. Just get right into it. Let's just go right through it.
Sure. So problems with the movie. I feel like they kind of toyed around with Natasha wanting to do something about what was going on with the movie. Like, I feel like the movie really set up the side character so well that she kind of, like, obviously she had really cool action sequences, but she didn't have like a lot of reasoning for doing what she's doing. And I think they, X-Men Origins Wolverine, how that, people were pissed about Deadpool, what they did. I think people are going to have the same reaction to Taskmaster, because if you don't know him and anything, even if you played Spider-Man, I think that version of Taskmaster in Spider-Man PS4 was better than what we got in this movie. And it actually reminded me of X-Men 2, when I can't remember his name, Stryker's son had like the messed up eyes, like they've been doing surgery on him.
Yeah.
Like it's like they pulled that character and made him Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Like, and then like I literally laughed, like, which is funny. Like, there's another reviewer that I watch, Chris Stuckman. I don't know if you guys ever watch him at all. He was talking about this movie. He said that he laughed too at the same part, like when the main villain has like a scent that makes people like they can't stop him, like it's like RoboCop. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that part was kind of
like
lame.
that's the kind of over the top stuff in this movie that I'm talking about is in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
And then like there's a scene where I can't remember the actress's name, the new character, like her sister.
Florence.
Yeah, like they're running from a Black Widow on a bike, right? And she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just, I'm outrunning this person. I'm just getting us out of here." She grabs the steering wheel, turns it, puts it in reverse, opens the door. The door hits a pole. The door flies off, hits a wall, hits that lady, knocks her off her motorcycle. She's like, "You're welcome." Like, there's there's no way you knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely had Fast and Furious vibes, especially in a lot of the chase scenes. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Like the movie's super action heavy, and David Harbour stole the show as Red Guardian. But what are your all thoughts? Like I've already talked a good minute on this one.
That's okay, Justin. Justin, go ahead, because I have more dislikes than likes. So go ahead.
Yeah, so it was a fun movie. It was a lot of fun. I went into it. I mentioned before the show that the trailers for this movie did nothing to help it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not excited about it, and then I just because it was a new Marvel movie, I gradually became more excited as the weekend came on. But I really did enjoy it. I mean, yeah, it's flawed. Taskmaster was kind of a throwaway character, it seemed like in this one, as opposed to this imposing kind of villain that could linger on for a while. I did like the whole I guess the final mission once they're in Dreykov's I forget the name of the facility, but it's the thing in the sky,
the Red Room.
Red Room, yes, thank you. When they do like the switcheroo with the mom and Natasha, I liked all of that. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, you compare it to Fast 9. It's a big, dumb action movie, and that's what we got, and it was enjoyable. And yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun watch. And honestly, my dislikes are things that I really just had to nitpick about, just to find something wrong with the movie. But if you go into it just, knowing what it is and knowing that it's going to be over the top, especially for a movie that, the main character doesn't have any superpowers, I think you'll have a good time. Let's see what Cortland said here. Could they have put a villain that lasted longer since Black Widow's character arc is done? Yeah, possibly. Did you all watch? I guess we'll talk about the after credit scenes as well once I'm done.
Right. Yeah.
So just some thoughts that I jotted down here. So I thought the backstory was good about how she became Black Widow. I really liked the flashback when they were kids and just the fact that their mission was done and they had to be on the run. I thought the opening scene was really cool. Once again, to Terry's point, definitely felt like a Fast and Furious movie right out of the gate. It felt like a little bit of Fast and Furious, but also I got a little bit of Uncharted vibes as well from the very beginning scene. Another point that I had is the action scenes I felt were pretty strong. Most all of them were like intense and kind of had you on the edge of your seat. However, with that being said, this movie should have actually taken place between Civil War and Infinity War. I mean, that's obviously where the timeline is. But I feel like a fun watch, but I hate agreed, Justin. Couldn't agree more.
Agreed, yeah.
I think this movie would have been more impactful if it would have actually released between those two movies in the actual time that it should have. The reason I say that is because I knew the ultimate fate of the character, Black Widow. Obviously, she's dead, right? Going into the movie and already knowing that, a lot of those scenes where it's like you're on the edge of your seat because you don't know what's going to happen next, I felt like I was robbed a little bit of intensity because I know she's already dead and she has to survive whatever it is that's about to happen to her.
What would have been neat?
What?
Is if this movie did actually release then, but they kept the end credit scene intact. That way you know what's coming, but you don't know how or when.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That would have been kind of cool. That'd have been dope.
I mean,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, Yeah, you're absolutely right about the stakes just weren't there. But I think that's another reason the movie is just like so balls to the wall over the top is because they. Hi, Marley.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. It's because they played with the they know she's dead, so like they have free range on the character. So
Yeah.
they just kind of went crazy with the character, I guess. You know what I mean? They didn't have really stake. They didn't have any stakes.
Steak. I love steak. A couple of other points. I wasn't crazy about the villain. I felt the Taskmaster was underutilized. However, with that being said, I am kind of excited to see if they have a place in the future MCU, because obviously you see that he's taken by the Black Widows and don't really know what's going to happen to that character. I got Snake Eyes vibes from G.I. Joe from Taskmaster a little bit more so than I thought I would. And then the last one, I was the opposite for Russian Captain America. I was not a huge fan. It was just okay. I felt like that character was there for more of comic relief because I felt like it was the great value brand Captain America.
I think they played with that though. Like I see a lot of like negative comments for like, oh, I wanted more from Red Guardian. I'm like, he was comic relief. That's all he was there for. They hired David Harbour to play him. Like David Harbour, it was perfect. Like, dude, it had me rolling when like he keeps wanting like these emotional conversations. Like he's like, oh yeah. No, he turns around like she's gone. He looks back at Taskmaster and says, "Damn it!" He's just ready to fight.
Yeah, I like the prison scene with him arm wrestling people too, and then he breaks that one guy's wrist. I thought that was kind of cool, but yeah, he tries to be like a good like father figure and a good example, but it always somehow randomly just falls apart. Especially when he's talking about like, getting peed on and stuff or peeing on people. It's just real weird. That's when it gets real strange. But overall, I thought it was a good movie, a good watch. It's by far not my least favorite Marvel movie, but it is good. It's good.
What is your least favorite? I'm just curious.
It used to be the very first Captain America is what it used to be. But after the events of everything, I went back and watched it again because I hadn't watched it. I only watched it once since it came out, and then I went back and rewatched it. Because of everything that's transpired, I have a new appreciation for that movie. Winter Soldier is still probably my favorite Marvel movie, but my least favorite's probably like either Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3, one of those two.
Thor: The Dark World, like that's my least favorite.
Yeah, that's probably my second least favorite.
Yeah, Cortland's asking. So okay, my least favorite would probably be, probably Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
You should. When's the last time you've watched it?
It's been a while. It's before Infinity War.
You should go back and watch it. Like
okay.
I thought the same thing. Like I didn't like what they did with the Mandarin. Well, I had the same. What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say I actually had this idea, and I'll go ahead and just put it out here on the podcast of us doing like a side podcast called Assembled, and it's an Avengers rewatch podcast in chronological order.
Oh, yes, I'm in.
That'd be
stop
really
right
cool.
there. I'm in.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe that'd be fun. Maybe that's what we could do to kick off Terry's new movie podcast.
We're already hijacking it, Terry. Sorry.
No, it wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea.
Well, this is what I had.
That would be really cool. I would like to do a ton of rewatch parties. I'd love to do a Chuck rewatch party.
Yeah. Cortland says, I love Iron Man 3 and 2. The first two Thors are my least favorite. Okay.
I'd have to go back and watch those too because I would probably agree, but it's been so long since I've seen those. So actually doing a rewatch party would probably be a great idea.
But we did get that awesome callback, though, in Loki to Thor. Another! Like he smashes the glass.
Yeah. So, what else? Do you guys have anything else about Black Widow?
What would you rate the movie? Like if you were to rate it, like let's say like letter grading.
I give it probably a B plus.
I think the same, B or B plus.
I'm with you guys, B plus.
There we go.
Pretty solid grade.
Yeah, let's talk about before we go. Let's talk about the after credit scenes. What you guys think?
Yeah, for sure.
What you guys think it might tell? Like, So, somebody want to explain the after credit scene for people that maybe hasn't seen it?
It's Natasha's sister, which again I cannot remember that character's name. I'm sorry.
Elena,
thank you.
Yeah.
So, Elena.
Ya boy.
Yeah, Yelena.
Yelena.
Yes.
In
He went straight robot.
Okay, sorry, jeez.
He went straight robot. That's so funny.
All right.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? All right.
Can now.
Okay. So Yelena, she's walking past. Sorry, Justin, you just went away. I'm so scared that I'm losing connection. Anyway,
No, you're fine. We can hear you. Keep going.
Right. So it's after the events, obviously, of Endgame. So she's walking into the woods and she comes across a headstone, and it's the headstone of Natasha Romanoff, right? Black Widow. So, she's paying respect, and the headstone, which actually like choked me up a little bit. If I'm like, I'm not gonna lie.
The whistling thing's what got me.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that was a nice touch, like a send off for her character. But anyways, It said what Sister Avenger, like it was pretty
Sister
neat.
Daughter Avenger, yeah.
Like I was all about it. And then you get the lady that was from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier, which her name, I think people are calling her Lady Hydra. Is that right?
Selena Myers.
Selena Myers is the character's name.
No,
I think
that's
in
your
the comics,
character on V.
No, I think her name in short is Val. I think they call her Val. Is her name VAL?
Okay, we'll say Val.
Yeah.
Okay, so she walks up, and of course, it's like she's the Nick Fury of Hydra or something. Like she's putting together her own team of misfits. So obviously you haven't seen it, Justin, but in the Falcon Winter Soldier, she goes up to Johnny Walker, the anti-Captain America, and recruits him. He's now a U.S. agent. And then, at the end of this, she's going to Natasha's sister, recruiting her, which apparently they've already been working together.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
She was.
Yeah. Right.
They had clearly had been working together before, but yeah.
Also, the vest that Natasha takes, she wears in Infinity War. Like, obviously they showed that in the movie, but I just thought that was cool. Nice little touch.
It tied it closer together. I like that.
Then she shows her her next target, right? And it's none other than Hawkeye himself, Clint Barton.
When did we get Hawkeye? Do we know yet? I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
It comes out in September, I believe.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a show.
Okay. Well, that'll be exciting.
Also, one thing about Black Widow we didn't really talk about. We finally got to see some snippets of what happened in Budapest, because they kept, Black Widow and Hawkeye kept referencing throughout the MCU. This isn't like Budapest. We're a long ways. So you get to see like them playing like tic-tac-toe from hiding. Is neat little things they added.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So I mean, I guess obviously we're eventually going to see what they're doing as they continue to assemble their team. So, but no, I overall liked the movie. I thought it was good. I just had a few issues here and there with it, but I think it did a good job of sending her character off, and it's kind of sad she won't be in the MCU anymore, but you never know. I know that when I was reading the story about how they didn't want to do multi-movie deals, that they were talking. No, it was actually when I was looking about Black Widow, they were saying that, that with the success of this, they may toy with the idea of going back and doing not a ton of prequels, but it's not on the question that they may do this with other characters in the MCU as well. So I don't really know. I don't really know what characters would be beneficial to do that with, but it could be a way to get characters that are dead back on the big screen to draw crowds out again. Whether it's maybe what if they did a movie of I would love for them to do a movie about Cap returning all the Infinity Stones, or
a show or something. I really want that.
That would almost make me think that he would run in with the TVA at some point too, and maybe they'd be like, we'll let it slide.
Yeah. So I think that would be really cool. But I guess this time next week, a couple things. One, we'll be joined by Emily, and two, we'll get to talk about the Loki finale. So I'm pretty pumped for that.
Me too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Do you guys have anything else? Does any of our listeners have anything else to add? Any thoughts? Any questions? Any comments? Do you sweet boys have anything to add?
Got nothing.
No, not at all.
All right.
Well, I guess
wrap this up.
Yeah, wrap it up, Terry.
All right.
Oh,
as always, guys. Oh, what?
We have a comment. It was a woot woot. All right.
Oh,
claptrap.
Justin says a series. Every episode could be an Infinity Stone. Oh,
well, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
And Mjolnir. I want to see him return the hammer.
Cortland says, great episode. Yeah, we know. We know it was. Just kidding.
Jeez.
Take notes, Cortland. This is how you do
Cortland.
a good episode.
Well, as
I'm just
always, thanks for tuning in to this hectic live episode. Sorry, my internet is trash. But
It's not
like,
trash.
share, comment, share us with your friends, share us with your mothers.
We do love mothers.
Apparently. Share us around. Leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts. Stupid comment.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyways, thanks, guys.
Until next
Bye.
time.